Hi guys and welcome to my channel. My name is Shubheksha Singh and today's video is going to be very different from the videos that I've posted earlier. It's going to be about my weight loss journey and it's a highly requested video on my channel, and finally I'm doing it, and I just want to share my journey with you guys. And just a disclaimer before starting off anything, I am no coach, I am no nutritionist, I am no dietitian, I am no gym guru, so please don't come at me. This is very personal. This is something that I have done on my own. I have not gone to any gyms. I have not got any prescribed diets. I have not done any intermittent fasting. I have not done any keto diets. This is all that I have done with a little bit of research and what I thought was best for my body personally. And today I'm here to share my journey because I have got so many requests from a lot of people who knew how I looked. So before all of that, I know there are going to be a lot of people who don't know me personally, who don't know how I was earlier. So I'm just going to insert a picture right here as to how I was just 1.5 years back, and I was 98 kilograms. I was 98 kilograms. And not just for a short span of time of my life, but for at least 6 to 7 years, my weight used to just fluctuate between 85 kilograms to 90, and then I finally came to 98. And within, I guess, a blink of an eye, I was going to be 100 kilograms. And I was going to get towards being at a risk of having diabetes. I was going to get BP, thyroid, all the things that are there in my family. Maybe I would have got them genetically, but because I've had a history of PCOD, it was very easy for me to get diabetic as well, because my body makes a lot of insulin and I had to eat a lot of tablets. From the past 12 years of my life, I have been on tablets, I've been on contraceptives for PCOD. And if you guys haven't watched the video, I have already uploaded my PCOD journey on my channel. So please go and you can just click here or there. I will be tagging that video here. Please go and watch that if you have the time to, because I have talked about everything that I have struggled and it might just be relating to yours as well. So putting all of that aside, I was 98 kgs. And not just for 1 or 2 years, but for 7 to 8 years. And I was obese, I was fat, I was unhealthy, all the things that you can call me. And it was very hard for me. Like, it's not that this was just the first time that I did it and it just kicked in and I got the results. But this is how I look right now, and right now I am 67 kilograms. There is no shame in telling you guys my weight, because this video is all about how I transformed myself personally without going to gyms and without having to do any crash diets or without having even a help of a professional. I did it all on my own. And if there is anybody out there who makes excuses, I'm really sorry, but there is no such issue, health condition that can really stop you from getting where you want to be. And I just gave in this time. There were a lot of times that I failed. It's not just once that I tried, but during all this time, during the past 12 years, since the time I was diagnosed with PCOD, I was a teen. I just hit puberty and I got PCOD. And I have struggled a lot. And I can actually relate to girls who have been struggling to lose weight, who have been body shamed for being chubby, who have been called fat, who've been called elephants, who have been called various abusive names in school, in colleges, and by their relatives they have been body shamed. I have gone through all of that because I have been there. I have been in your shoes. And there is no empathy, no sympathy for all of that, because we girls actually know, we guys actually know what all we have to go through when we are not able to lose or shed even a single pound. And I have tried to lose weight at least 8 times in my life. And I have tried gym, I have tried VLCC, I have tried various diets, I have gone to numerous dietitians. Like, I cannot even tell you the count of it. I've just lost all count. I did everything personally that I could within my stamina to do it. I tried again to lose weight, and I even shed 4 kgs, and that was so motivating for me even after having PCOD. I shed 4 kgs on my own when I was in college, but because of not getting the appropriate diet, because of the mess food and all of that, I just again gave in, and I just regained back all the pounds that I had lost. And I failed 8 times, and still I got up. And I'm going to tell you guys what was the kick-in point for me and how I actually did it. I'm not going to make this too long because you guys need to really grab a snack and listen to this whole journey if you want to really do something for yourself. And if I can even inspire one person watching this, that would mean the most to me. And there are no excuses for losing weight. You cannot just pin it on having health conditions. You cannot pin it on the food. You cannot pin it on your lifestyle. But only you can do it. And if you actually have it from inside, you can do anything. There was a picture of mine that actually made me feel that, oh my god, is that really me? Like, I cannot believe it that I look like that. Because I was just maybe ignoring the fact as to how I looked, because I just used to feel that, yeah, I just look as good as any other girl, as any other skinny girl out there. And this was the picture that made me realize how fat and ugly I look personally from my point of view, not because anybody else said it to me. And this picture made me realize as to where am I going. Like, I have been eating medicine since so long, and I feel that there is nothing that I can do about it, and I'm just giving my body so much of trash by eating so much medicine, and I've been eating so much junk food and all. And where am I even going with this? So there was a turning point in my life. I still remember the day. It was 8th of April 2019 when I started to make a change in my life. I did my research, I went on Google, I utilized it for the first time fully. I did my research each day for at least a month because I didn't want to go wrong anywhere, because I was not taking any professional helps. And I searched for all the diets, all the foods that are good in protein, all the carbs that are good for me. And being a PCOD patient, I actually had to take care of all the things in point. And I could not just do a crash diet and just lose weight and just regain all of that back. That was just the most unhealthy way. And intermittent fasting was just not for me. Like, I was so fat, you guys can see. And I think I could not even avoid my snacks. Like, I used to eat at least 4 times a day. So like, a snack and dinner hardly used to have any gap between them. But still, I used to start feeling hungry, because that is how I just made my body. Even after the food might not have been getting digested, because my metabolism was just shitty as hell. I just cannot tell you guys how bad it was. And I did not used to move. I used to just come back home. I was interning with PwC, I still remember back. And I just started my internship in 2019 January. And January, February, March, these were the three months when I used to go to office. I used to come back, and then I just used to lie down on my bed, order something from outside, and just binge eat and watch Netflix. And I did not used to move even an inch, because every time I tried, I failed. And these were the things that just made me realize that maybe I'm never going to be like healthy, or like never going to be able to lose even a pound, because every time I tried, I used to lose 1 kg, and there was no time when I could even get my weight from the 90s range to 80s. 90s were the only range where my weight used to fluctuate mostly since the past 4 years, and my weight was not even coming down from 90 to 89 even. And it was just so frustrating. I used to be like, छोड़ ना यार, होना ही नहीं है तो क्या करना है. And I used to come back home. मैं बाहर से खाना मंगाती थी, खाती थी, लेटी रहती थी. मतलब मैं अपना प्लेट भी नहीं रखने जाती थी, बिकॉज मैं इतनी ज़्यादा थक चुकी थी कि कैसे होगा एग्जैक्टली मुझे नहीं समझ में आ रहा था. मैंने इतनी बार ट्राई करा, सबके लिए जो काम करता था मैंने सारी चीज़ें ट्राई करी, बट नहीं हुआ. एंड मुझे ये लगता था कि मे बी होने ही नहीं वाला है कभी, बिकॉज कभी होता भी था तो उसके बाद वापस आ जाता था. तो मैंने सोचा कि यार क्यों ही करना है, मतलब मेहनत करनी ही क्यों है, फिर छोड़ ही दो ना जब नहीं होना तो. And then one day it was just like something just got in me and I was like no भाई इस बार तो करना है, इस बार कैसे भी करके करना है और खुद ही करना है. I don't need anybody's help this time. Like even my parents lost faith in me. My mom was like इस बार भी नहीं होगा बेटा, इस बार भी you will do it. You might just start and you might just give in and you'll just get back as to where you are. And then I made my course of plan. Things that I followed were majorly point 1 calorie deficit. Point 2, I used to walk in my colony's park. I used to go and I used to walk in like, I used to take 5 kilometers of rounds and I did not even used to jog or anything. I just used to walk like a normal walk. जो एक 98 kgs की लड़की या लड़का करते हैं normal. कुछ ऐसा नहीं brisk walk or something because हो ही नहीं पाता था मुझसे. मैं आराम से normally walk करती थी stroll लेके. Used to come back to my room and I used to just come back, do a 5-minute of cardio. I remember still, like in April and May, I used to do 5 minutes of Zumba only and 5 kilometers of walk. And the change that I made in my diet was majorly, first of all, I stopped all the things that everybody, it's very generic, like everybody knows. कि कोई मुझे तला हुआ खाना नहीं लेना है. So no fried food, no carbs for me like bread, rice. I left rice. I was a fanatic for eating rice and there was no meal that I used to go without having rice in my meals. I left rice, I left bread, not just completely or something, but I used to have like, I remember one bread for in like a whole week of time. So like I used to keep Saturdays for one bread and omelette. And pehle I used to have 4 breads and 2 omelets each day. So like पूरे हफ्ते में एक बार ही bread, no rice for me at all. And I made these changes on my own because it's very generic. Like you can find this everywhere. Like people say कि ये सब छोड़ दो, तला हुआ खाना छोड़ दो, processed food छोड़ दो, बाहर का खाना छोड़ दो. All of that I just kept aside. And being such a like fanatic for food also, like I just made sure that I will have my cheat meals but only like once a week. So every Saturday I used to have my cheat meal full एकदम. जैसे 2000 calorie I used to have. But बाकी दिन पे what I used to do was I used to have only 800 calories a day. And being somebody who used to be so into food earlier, having such less calories was so hard for me, and being like a PCOD patient as well. But I was like, nahi bhai, I can do it. And now that everybody has challenged me and everything has failed, now it's on me only. And I had never walked before in my life. And I had never gone to the park and walked like, because I never thought that वॉक से भी होगा या नहीं, बिकॉज इतनी सारी चीजें फेल दैट आई वाज लाइक पता नहीं यार ये भी काम करेगा नहीं करेगा. सो आई स्टार्टेड वॉकिंग 5 kilometers a day, 5 minutes of Zumba and calorie deficit in my meals. Now I will tell you guys what was the most shocking thing for me was that every week in the first month I remember I started shedding 2 kgs of weight a week. You guys won't believe, by the end of April 2019 I was below 90 kgs. I cannot tell you guys what it meant to me. I still have goosebumps in my hands. You guys can see. That was a turning point in my life. I never thought that I'm going to be transforming like that, like this. Because I tried it on my own. And I was like, I don't need anybody's help. I'm going to do it on my own this time. And I did it. I started losing weight. It was such a motivator for me. It was such a kick in. Like I started being active. I was very active. And this just kept going on. And it just became a habit of mine. And although my weight was shedding this fast in the first month, the first 2 months it did shed a lot faster because obviously I had too much of fat that was not appropriate for my body, or even my BMI. My fat was too much in terms of percentage also. So which is why I started to shed that easily because of such less calorie intakes and so much of physical activity that I was doing. And I'm going to keep on inserting pictures as to how I started to look, and I have a few scale pictures as well that I can find. Like earlier though, when I was 98, I don't have any scale pictures because I was just too ashamed of it. Like I could not tell my weight to anybody and I used to feel so ashamed. मुझसे पूछेगा भी तो मैं नहीं बोल सकती. मुझे इतना upsetting लगता था वो, and I'm going to insert all the pictures to just help you guys see the changes, and you guys can clearly, I guess, make that out as well. And this is how I started. These are the few things that made a difference to my body even after having PCOD health conditions. And from April till August, this is how I went. Like, I used to have my cheat meals once a week. I used to have calories deficit food. I used to have ghar ka khana, nothing special, no salads or anything for me. It's just that I had cut down on my dinner. So dinner mein, I used to come back from my park at 6 o'clock. Summers mein, I used to come back, I used to do my exercise. Then I used to take a break, like half an hour. I used to take my bath and take a break. And then I used to tell my mom to make me some like थोड़ा छोटा मोटा fruits she could cut जो भी घर में होगा. या फिर I used to like just saute my paneer, like raw paneer, in a little bit of olive oil with hardly, like, I guess, a pinch of salt, and I used to eat that. I used to have fruits, I used to have soup, I used to have popcorn, I used to have some sprouts, I used to have some sorted veggies. These are the only 5 things I had for my dinner for at least 5.5 months. I was 18 kgs down till August. So from April to August, I was like 98 to 80, and I had my convocation, and people were shocked to see me. They were like, "Ki bhai, is it really you?" And can you guys believe it? Like 80 kgs. I was 80 kgs, and that is also too much of weight. But still, like, people could see a difference because I was so fat. And I was like, abhi to kuch hua hi nahi hai. Abhi to I have to keep on going. And you guys know, like, once you get the kickstart, it's like you cannot just leave it on the way. And that was something I have to carry on for the rest of my life. I cannot just like lie down and stop like having my protein rich food and healthy food, and I could just stuff my face with a lot of junk food and fast food and I will just stay the same like I am. That cannot happen now. I have to follow my regime now. I have to go on a one-track mind that I had focused my mind on. And August May, I was diagnosed with a gallbladder stone. So that was the most hardest time in my life. Like in August, I had to keep a pause in this whole regime because I was diagnosed with a gallbladder stone that was too big, and it was actually got stuck in my pipe, and that was so horrific for me. Like, I had a lot of symptoms, and I got an ultrasound done the next day. I had a very, very bad night, and it was so hard for me to even breathe, and I had to get it out. So August 28, 2019, I got my gallbladder operation done, and then I was advised not to do any exercises for 3 months, and I could only start walking after a month's time. So that was a huge pause, and you guys can just understand how hard it was for me. Like, I was like कि भाई अब कैसे होगा. I was scared कि I don't want to regain anything back. यार मैंने इतनी मुश्किल से किया है और मुझे मतलब ऐसा हो गया कि कैसे होगा अब. So I was like कि नहीं भाई, if I have done it the right way, then how am I going to regain all of it back, even if I have a pause in my like walking and exercising or whatever. Because after I had shed so much of pounds, it was very, very easy for me to start working out. And I had a pause in my exercising, so I was like, after 1 month I can start walking, but no exercises because I had 4 stitches in my lower abdomen. So for 1 month I was on a bed rest, and it was very hard for me. It took me a lot of time to recover from my operation, and I guess after 3-4 months it was like okay for my body. My body felt like it was like back and giving me that boost to start doing it all of it again. So I guess September I started walking again, and I am now like 30 kgs down only because I never gave up. And it took me 1.5 years to get where I am. I would say the difficult part is not losing weight now, but to maintain it. Right? I actually had a healthy weight loss. That was like my top priority in the beginning, that I don't want to do a very like unhealthy way of getting into shape, because then it's not going to be beneficial for me in any way. And it took me 1.5 years to be where I am, and like it's going to be 2 years now finally. On 8th of April 2021, it's going to be 2 years for me. And when I was on my journey, there were a lot of barriers. There was this operation that I had come, surprisingly. Then I had this quarantine phase where I had to keep going. I was not able to go to the park. I was not able to do the things that I was doing. And then this quarantine thing even made all of us so like lazy. We just did not want to even get out of the bed and was so demotivated. But me and my sister just made sure that we had to do 2 hours of physical activity each day. And because we'd had nothing else to do, we were not allowed to go out, so we made sure that we jogged at home for 1 hour and we did our physical activity. So that was a boost as well. And I still carry on my diet. I always count my calories. I know that calorie counting can be like difficult for a lot of people, and a lot of people don't like to count their calories, but these are just a few things that have worked for me. And I just wanted to share that with you people. Like now, like people who have been reaching out to me asking me how I did it, these were the few things that had worked for me: calorie counting, having diet which was like really healthy, high in protein and all the foods that were good for my gut, taking 8 hours of proper sleep, being active at least 1.5 hours each day, like doing anything but being active. I had to be active. And the fifth thing was I used to have 3 liters of water each day. These were the 5 utmost things that I made sure to include in my regime to get where I am today. And this is all thanks to me. Like I had made up a few points when I started my journey only for myself, and those were the things that kept me going. Each day I used to just open my notes on my phone, I used to look through it, and I was like, ki bhai, I can do it. And there was just me, myself, my persistence and my patience throughout, and my hard work. And even my family was shook. My sister, she studies in Mumbai. When she came back and she saw me, she was like, is that really you? I wish I could just have recorded her reaction, but that was like at 1 a.m. at night. And it was so overwhelming for me to see how happy people are now, and like I could battle my PCOD. And now I don't have to eat medicines for my PCOD. Touch wood for that. And I have done that all by myself, and I follow a healthy diet even now. There is nothing that I have stopped doing. I count my calories, but there have been days where I've been too lazy and I have ate too much. There have been like vacations where I have gone to like 5 days or 6 days of vacations and I have binge eat, but then I get back on track. That is the most important thing for anybody. If you guys really want to work towards your body, if you guys want to maintain your weight, if you guys want to transform yourself, make sure that you get back on track. There are going to be days when you don't feel like doing it, but you just have to. Only you can do it for yourself. There is no trainer who's going to help you to such an extent that he will do it for you and he will shed the weight for you as well. You have to do it on your own, and there are no excuses. I understand it now once I've done it on my own. And I am shook. Not just people around me, but I am shook as to where I am, and I am so proud of myself. I can proudly say that I am where I am because of me. There are no external elements who have helped me get where I am. And still I've not reached my target weight because I still want to lose a few pounds. I still want to lose 6 kgs of weight. And it is very, very hard because now that I've lost all the extra fat, it is hard for me to lose weight that easily that I was earlier, and it gets demotivating at point. But you have to keep going if you want to get there. And now that there have been so many motivating elements in my life and I have done it on my own, I feel that weighing scale is not going to tell me where I have reached, or it's not going to be a factor for motivation anymore. Working out makes my body feel so happy, so elevated. I feel my happy hormones just come out and I feel so released. And I make sure to go to the park as well. Earlier I had a huge halt because of this corona thing, but I always make sure to go to the park. It makes me feel so nice. Like I feel the gym wasn't made for me. Maybe these harsh crash diets weren't made for me. Only I could do it how I felt was good for me. And it was hard. Like घर में बाहर से खाना आता था. My mom dad used to relish it. My mom dad used to have cheat meals almost like twice a week or thrice a week, like weekdays पे. And I used to be like, कुछ नहीं होता, but I'll still have my fruit. I will have my fruit. I will not even taste it because I know that once I taste it, I will have the urge to have one more bite, one more bite, one more bite. And then I'm just going to spoil my diet all over again. But I was not going to do that. I didn't even used to sit in the same room. I used to be like, Meee bhai, meri itni resistance hai ki I can sit in my room, have my fruit, and that is going to be enough for me. My stomach used to just growl so much in the beginning when I was so like heavyweight. I was like, no, I cannot have food. I used to have like green tea at 10 p.m. and then I used to sleep late as well. But still, even having like such urge to have food, I used to feel so hungry. I used to have such growling sounds from my stomach, but I still used to make sure nahi, अब नहीं करना है, खुद से ही करना है, and इतना ही खाना भी पेट को देना है. It takes 21 days to develop a habit, and my stomach took that much days. And I had made my mind that Saturdays are for cheat meals. And I personally feel right now, as I have done so much, and I can say now that it's all a game of your mind. If you have made your mind that way, you are not going to cheat. You're not going to have too much of food. If there is too much of food in front of you, you will make your mind and your stomach in such a way that nahi bhai sab kha lete hain. But if you have a really small plate, if you have lesser food in front of you, you will make your mind in such a way that nahi itne se hi pet bhar jayega. So I used to do a lot of portion controls, and all of these things really help. They help me and they might help you. So you guys can make these changes in your diet or in your routine. You guys can just start by walking 15 minutes a day, and maybe that would make a huge change in your lifestyle, in your weight, in your transformation. And I just wanted to make this video, and if you guys really want to know as to what are the foods that I used to have, so I will be making a different video on that. I can make a video on do's and don'ts as well, because I guess now that I've had the experience of 2 years now, because I did it all by myself, I can make such videos which can help you people out there. And I would say, घर का खाना खाओ, बाहर का खाना just limit it to a few days, if not just one, a few days in a week. And even if you're meeting your friends, even if you're going out with family, make sure to have like salads, or make sure to have protein-rich food. Just avoid any processed food, just avoid any sodas, and you might just see a difference in your body, and that would just make you so happy to like I was so happy once I lost all that weight. I was able to wear clothes that I never thought I would wear. I was able to do things which I thought I could never do, and look a certain way which I never thought I would. Just do it for yourself, not for anybody else. I did it for myself, and this is where I am right now, and I'm very proud of myself. So I will see you guys in my next video. Till then guys, be positive, keep sharing love. Please be safe guys.